Welcome. I want to present the 2026 Hamilton Church of Christ budget to you. I'm going to give it to you in a little bit more detail than what I'm going to announce on Sunday. For those that need a little more detail, I used to do it during Sunday morning, and some people didn't like that I took so much time out of our worship. So beginning in COVID 2020, I decided to do this on video in detail and just summarize it for the congregation. So this is probably, I guess, the 6th year that I've done this. Bear with me. I'll try to be as brief as I can, and we'll get started. I usually give a little summary review of 2025, and we'll have a slide presentation that is going along with this. We started out 2025 with $124,000 in cash, and we ended with $278,000, which is a pretty good increase, $154,000 increase. And I will explain a little bit about that. We spent $56,000 on building repairs and renovations last year. Now, I'm sure you've noticed, and I hope you've been pleased with the effect. I think it looks very good. We painted the auditorium on the inside, especially in the pulpit area. We did a little repair to the roof. We did a lot of updating to our lighting inside and out. We had an old lighting system, and we've upgraded all that to LED, and there was some problems with turning on the electricity on and off after church, so we got that handled so we can do it from downstairs as well as upstairs. We just completed remodeling the office. I'm sitting in the remodeled area right now. It looks much brighter and cleaner. Of course, we haven't got anything on the walls right now, so that helps. We did do the painted and new flooring, and changed our furniture around, and it looks a lot better. Before the year ended, we bought some material for new flooring and paint for the classrooms. And if you hear some noises going on, they are working today, and we should have that completed in the first few weeks of 2026. So our flooring and walls and classrooms will look a lot better. Of our cash increase of $154,000, the $69,000 came from the fact that we had less expenses than what was budgeted, and also we had an $85,000 donation from an estate, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. Our contributions were a little short of the budget, and but the actual contributions were $93.43 per week, and our budget was $9,400, so that's pretty close, 57 per week short. And we had some special contributions that would have pushed that above $9,400, so I feel pretty good about where we were on the budget last year. Going on to the second slide of special contributions, we had a big drive at the end of the year, as we usually do, for fruit baskets and also Christmas for kids. And we collected $2,535 for that. And Barry Kerr took that money, and there were some families that had special needs, and we bought Christmas for all those kids in that family. We had about 3,100 contributed for other things, and the Dorcas class of ladies contributed $500 to send to St. Jude. As I stated just a minute ago, we had an estate donation of $85,327. And if you recall, Ross Feltman passed away last year, and his estate finally settled out, and he wanted to donate around $50,000 to the church, and he specified that to be used for missions. And then Mac McDonald took part of the money from the estate that was given to him and donated $35,000 also to the church. So that's a big boost. We haven't decided where the $35,000 will be used, and we've got some ideas about the mission work, but that's got to be finalized during this coming year. If we look at our contributions for the last 5 years on the slide, the gray column is the actual, and you can see it's been pretty flat the last 4 years, between probably 9,250 and 9,500. So we had one exceptional year in 2021, but the rest of the contribution years have been pretty flat. So based on our spending and also what's coming in, we've decided that our 2026 budget we're going to leave that the same at $9,400 per week. The next few slides I'll get into a little more detail of where the budget monies are being spent. This first slide is basically our operating expenses for salaries for staff and youth minister and secretary, payroll taxes, visiting preachers, gospel meetings, ladies' day budget. We have well, it's been already announced at the end of the year that Max will be full-time starting in June. And until then, he'll continue as he has been, coming once or twice a month and working with the youth. Due to him being part-time for the first 6 months, our budget will be a little bit less this year than what it will be next year. And we want to welcome Max and appreciate the work that he's done the last year. And we're looking forward to him being here for many years and strengthening our youth group quite a bit. We're planning on having a gospel meeting in April with David Powell. Then we'll have a summer series. And then Sandra has come up with a ladies budget for the ladies for the year. And all those things are about a little over $10,000. In our education, Paul Colvin oversees that. You received or will be receiving a daily devotional book on parables for this year, and we've done that for several years. Those will be handed out in the next few days. We have one for each family. Appreciate the work Paul's doing to keeping teachers in the classrooms. We are planning on having VBS here this year. The other some other parts of this on this slide is our worship. Ron Clark oversees the communion and scheduling for devotionals for that. Chris Warner is scheduling prayers. Andrew Lindsay does the control room crew. We're always continuing to try to improve our audio and video resources, and just like this is being put out on the internet, our weekly services are broadcast, and I can tell you that is a great resource for those that are homebound and are sick or in the hospital. They really appreciate being able to see our worship services. Jeff White has recently added several more cameras inside and out, and they do a tremendous job trying to keep us safe. It's kind of like a referee in a game. You want them to do a good job, but you don't necessarily want to notice that they're there, and that's the way the security team is. They're here, they're in the background, but they're always alert for any kind of trouble situation that might show up. Under one other thing under this slide is fellowship supplies. Henry Bonner and Bob Moore are kind of been in charge of our fellowships. We are still planning to purchase some new chairs for the fellowship room. The ones we have are stained, and they've been around for quite a while. We just need some new chairs in there. Next is our youth budget. Like I just mentioned, Max, his salary will be included in that our operating expenses slide. The youth budget includes the lads leaders. It's the largest monetary amount that we have. Then our winter youth events, the CYC, various weekly activities. They always go on a mission trip in the summertime. We've been going to Louisiana. Horizons, we have retreats, Maywood Camp, a lot of things going on with the youth. Andrew and Jared have been continuing to work with the teens along with Max, and we just had a planning meeting last Sunday to plan out the events for the next few months. So things are going well with that, and like I said, Max will be full-time by the time we get ready to go to Maywood. Under facility management, we have our utilities, gas and electricity. We have $80,000 in the budget for building maintenance. Not sure. I don't think that that's going to be too low a figure, but we have plenty in the budget to continue upgrading the building. I just mentioned a few minutes ago the things that we did have already done in the auditorium, in offices, and classrooms, and and then in 24 before that we did all the hallways, flooring and paint. So we're moving right along. I want to appreciate Eugene and Linda Cashin for all the work they put into this project, planning and working with it and getting materials. Things that don't happen just randomly. It takes hard work and dedication by several people. Like I said, the classrooms will soon be painted and have new flooring. The parking lot still needs to be repaired. I'm not sure if it'll be repaired or repaved. We got to keep that in mind for 2026. I appreciate Alan West and Kelly Jones and Henry and Janice, the work that they do to keep the building and the yards maintained inside and out. Moving along to missions. The first slide would be what we call domestic missions in this country. And for many years, Heritage Christian has been the top of our list. We support Child Haven and Fred Hardman. Maywood Camp, we've continued to increase that for several years. We've kept increasing that amount. Maywood is probably our most important domestic mission for the church here. Jenkins Institute, Dale Jenkins and Jeff, they do a fantastic work. Our benevolence number of $10,000 keeps going up every year, and there's a continued need in the community to help provide help in that area. That's pretty much. We did drop our support of the Southern Church of Christ. We'd supported them for probably 5 years. Last year, they told us that they felt like that they wanted to try to make it on their own, and we told them we would support them another year, which we did last year, and just to make sure that they're going to be okay. And I talked to the people down there, and they seem to think that they're going to be able to make it okay. So we'll keep an eye on that, and but for this year, we are cutting back on the support to Soldier. I talked about benevolence. We help a tremendous amount of people through monetarily means and through the pantry. And Rick Chambliss has been buying the food for the pantry. He's done that for several years now. And if you look at our church review in the bulletin last week, there was a statement in there saying that we had given out $17,000 in food, a value of food for $17,000. So that's a tremendous work that's going on through the pantry. Our last slide will be next to last slide. Will be on our foreign missions, and all of our mission work is overseen by the eldership, and with Jared Sarton is involved with that, and Paul Logan especially works with that area. two areas of work that we've kind of focused on the last couple of years is the Gospel Chariot in Africa. And George Funk came to visit us last year and give us an update on the work there. The Gospel Chariot is spread out beyond Africa to Australia, South America, Philippines. They have a broad work. George's sons are involved, and as well as some other people. So we've supported that for probably 20 years, and they're still doing a great work. And Wayne Barrier, who he's usually here in the springtime when they have a retreat out at Maywood for missionaries, and his sons are also involved in his work. They're involved in China, some other Thailand, some other countries in Southeast Asia, also the Philippines. They've started work in South America. So I think those are two of the best works that we're supporting right now as far as foreign missions. Barton Kaiser helps with training missionaries in Latin America, and Joe Warndle is still working in Haiti. And so, we haven't forgot about our mission work, foreign and domestic. I want to try to continue to provide resources to help missionaries. As I do every year, I want to ask you to increase your support for the work in Hamilton. In our swift daily life, sometimes we forget when we start a new year to evaluate how blessed that we've been and to increase our contribution. I'm going to ask you to please pray about that and spend a little time deciding if you can help increase your support. Let's pray for the work here. Pray for all the work done and for God's blessings on reaching the lost and building up the saved, and pray that we'll use the funds in the budget in the way that God would have us to do. I pray that we'll be generous givers. And finally, Proverbs 21:5, the plans of the diligent lead surely to plenty. So I appreciate your time as we've gone through some of the details of the budget. If you have any questions, I'm always available, as is Barry and Paul. We can answer your questions, and we want to encourage you to find a place to get involved with the work in 2026. Thank you.